I'll play it towards
So,
here.
question for you, SC, right there. When you're talking about that trigger right there at 28.4 or 28.5, where's the actual enter? Do you wait until price breaks back below and then there's a retest of the level? So, what's like the actual trade trigger? I'm curious.
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll show you a real example of how I took it and that what my trigger was then. So similar to here, when I shorted this, my trigger for so here I didn't know how high it would go. This was the level I used. Right, there's here. So remember when I shorted here initially, because I had a clear invalidation.
Mhm.
Now with these type of trades, this could have gone up, but I know where I'm wrong. So I use smaller risk on the initial swing. But once it confirms to me, so here, that's the deviation. My confirmation was either I chase it here, because
Uh-huh.
if I chase it here, I've got it based on I know where I'm wrong, so I can just bung a hard stop there. If it was to reclaim, I'll look to cut it. But crypto being crypto, when you just a couple of retests or whatever, it can just nuke in one candle.
Yep.
So in other markets, I have more time. Crypto, I don't. So I'm more aggressive. So I'll do smaller size though. Whether it gives me the retest or not, I don't know, because crypto's got that tendency to just keep going. So I'll do some size here, and then what I'll do, I'll wait for the normal setup. So that is the normal setup there. So whether
The
it's a
retest
retest
of like that
here,
trend line.
however, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So initially I short it here. This is based on aggressive because it's done the consolidation phase. It's retested a couple of times. The next break usually holds. That the probability wise. So with this one here, we've consolidated a few times. So this was one of my setups that I was looking to take, the conservative setup. So because we've retested a couple of times, that's why I was aggressive here. I thought it broke down, and that's why I took it as aggressive. I didn't want to miss out. But I use smaller size if it's aggressive because it didn't give me that confirmation. Okay, but
Yeah, we
market
had
is
the
not.
failed breakdown, right? And then it just
Yeah.
resolved higher afterwards.
So usually, I mean, this should have been cut if it doesn't deviate quick here. But it is what it is. Same thing here. So it's still the same play. And then once it deviates, so if it does that confirmation, couple of retests, macro level. If we don't take out these stops now and we do that run up, the probability of that short's higher to take out these and then resume if he wants, or if he wants to come lower. But my
That makes
trade is going
sense.
to be this, and then after that, I take some off, stops flat. We'll see what he does.
Makes sense. I like that a lot. I like also how you use, the range high and range low, and then also use like the trend line for that trigger. As soon as you get that retest, essentially, that's like the trigger to go long or short, which is interesting to me. And I also always
Yeah,
appreciate how you always tend to, create these if-then statements, and I like to harp on that a lot. Is we're traders, we're not forecasters, so I think it's really key to understand that we don't know what's going to happen next, but having a plan for either scenario is how you don't let the market catch you off guard.
yeah. I mean, as traders, we got to adapt with the market. I mean, we can have an opinion, but at best, it's just an opinion. So we got to be prepared for the other side as well, and that's why
I love it.
I'm always prepared. I mean, I was shorting the fuck out of this. I mean, even I got like hyped up. I was saying 15K, boom, I closed it, went long, back up.
That's literally
Because
the
then you
definition of
realize
a good trader. Yep.
I know, yeah. I mean, even I get emotional, but sometimes I just step back and say, okay, what's going on? And then my clue for this was actually gold, but we'll get to that later. That's my gold.
I actually love to pivot to that now because I know that, we talk a lot and I love hearing your different viewpoints on the macro and how that influences the way you take trades in crypto itself. So yeah, I'd love for you to kind of touch upon that gold, DXY, ES, etc. How does that all add confluence to taking certain trade setups and, also for defining that risk or like tacking on or tacking less size on?
So usually what I do is, if it's going to be like decent move trades, I'll firstly start off with ES, dollar index, gold, ZN. I'll do all of those before I even look at crypto, Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin's in a range, that's different. Range by markets doesn't mean much. But for the swing trades, I do look at those. So for example's sake, why did I take a long here? I did give a reason. There's on my feed. There's a 15-minute video or something. I did it, but I'll give you a brief breakdown because a lot of people are waiting for the perfect retest. Market doesn't always give you that,
Yep.
and when certain things happen, like here, this area here was traded many times here, so they don't need to fill that in. So the minimum, just from a sub, would have been here. Now the clue I got here was what day was this? Was this a weekend?
Yep. It was a week. It was Friday. I remember I went out
Yeah.
that night.
So
Yep.
now on the Friday before gold, because it is tracking this. So if I bring that chart up, and nobody can really deny that. I've got to hear some Japanese yen. I look at yen as well. Hang on, let me bring that chart up. see, go here. Yeah, so I'll clean this chart up. If we look, gold had already bottomed out at key support level. So if I clean this for a second, um, hang on, it's too much of a lower time frame. That's a big clue for me. And then I was watching a dollar index reversal as well. So it meant to reverse. So here, gold was struggling to break down. Once he did this, a key support, and he closed, Bitcoin pushing lower, but gold wasn't. And they are correlated. Obviously, correlation comes and goes, but when they come and they're working, you pay attention. So gold had bottomed out first for me. And that was one of my big clues because it does follow the when dollar index trends and ES. And then when it started, so I look at the level here. I'm waiting for a confirmation because it could have just nuked further. But once it starts stalling at my key level, and then that's get the fuck out. And but you know where you're wrong because if you take the long here, if this is a deviation just like this, it's a bit big, then it should be. You'll know where you're wrong quick. So as a small position, that's fine. Maybe bung a stop there. And then once it confirms the deviation gets back above, then you can load the rest and then tighten validation. And if it is going to be a stop run, it's usually very fast. So that was one clue. And then I'm looking at, let's not get into yen pairs. But on the 10th of March, around here, ES was at range lows as well.
Uh-huh.
So that was another clue. And then further on, let's do dollar index. We don't need to go into too much detail, but that's the basics. Dollar index on the 10th was at range highs. So if we look at the 10th, Wednesday here, yeah, dollar index had already topped out. It came off the range highs anyway. It took out the key. Wrong pen.
Oh, it was the deviation. Then when you saw the
Yeah,
deviation break back
yeah, it took
down,
out,
that's when you
that was a
love that.
monthly resistance, and that's more or less the range. So once it did that, so this is where when this was dropping and Bitcoin was still dropping, one of them's got lagging. You see what I
Mhm.
mean? And then once this happened, and then gold and every ES all lined up, everything's pointing to get the fuck out of Bitcoin or trim or be careful. So all that led me, and this is how I longed. I shorted Bitcoin there. I longed Bitcoin here, and here same play again. So this will be the confirmation for this trade. I mean, if it's at range lows, I'm happy to take it, and Bitcoin's at SR. If this starts breaking down, then okay, I'm gonna start longing Bitcoin. But if this confirms and ES starts to turn at the same time, gold is already turning. That all of it adds factors of confluence to our Bitcoin short idea. But if